Hi, everybody. This is Workforce Gaming. My name is Doug, along with Brad.
Hello, everybody.
And this week we are going to be reviewing, or I am going to be reviewing because I'm the one who played it, was
That's how that works.
is Android Assault Cactus. And
I
the best
totally,
way,
I totally wrote this wrong on our thing. It says Android Cactus Assault.
God damn it, this happened with our last podcast when I couldn't figure out if the game was Entangled or Untangle or no, it is Android Assault Cactus, I think, but stop, don't
I'm
correct
gonna
me
Google it right
because
now.
I don't know now.
It is Android Assault Cactus. It is written
Okay.
wrong on our nice little outline here.
Okay. I want to start this review by saying if you do eventually play this game, whoever's going to pick this up, I hope you feel very bad for voting for Broforce for PS Plus.
Broforce is great, and we'll do a review of Broforce later on this month.
Okay, Broforce compared to this game is straight garbage. Android Assault Cactus is one of the best twin stick shooters I've ever played. Has one of the highest qualities of polish of a game I've played in years, and that's including like AAA games. And I don't know. This game is it's like a game that was like plucked from the PS2 era and then put on consoles and then given that sort of like next gen sheen. Android Assault Cactus, I feel like a lot of people may not have heard of this game because it was I think a lot of time for people first heard about this game when it was a PS Plus vote title.
Yeah, pick your game.
Pick your game, yeah, and it was alongside Broforce, which Brad, I know you love, but you actually voted for Android Assault Cactus. I think I made you.
Yeah, you told me to because I didn't really know what this was or Broforce, so I voted for this because Doug was like super crazy in love with this game.
Yeah, I had been following the game for a really long time. I don't know how long these guys have been in development, but yeah, I'd been following this game for quite a long time, and I knew just like from seeing videos and stuff and people talking about this game was going to be excellent. I didn't expect it to be this good though, which is I don't know, kind of surprising. Clearly, um,
Yep.
yeah, I kind of bought this game I was been anticipating. It's like, oh, I had certain expectations going into this. I was like, oh, it's going to be a fun twin stick shooter. I just didn't expect it to be so good and have such a high level of polish. The game actually has like cinematics in it, which was kind of interesting. Like your character like kicks in. They have actually a fully animated cinematic where they introduce all the characters. I guess the mission is that there's all this AI that's gone crazy on this ship, and then you need to go save the humans by blowing up all the robots and taking down the core, which is like it's a simple story, but it does a really good job of setting up what you're supposed to do. I feel like a lot of these games sort of Broforce is probably a good example. Broforce, like I don't feel like there's ever really Broforce kind of like leans on the fact like, oh, you're just playing as action heroes, don't worry about the story. You know what I
No,
mean?
for sure. You're America and screw everybody else.
Yeah, and like you fight like the devils at the end of every stage, and I'm not getting into spoilers or anything like that. But it's like there's no, it's a fun arcade. I'll say Broforce is a fun arcade game, but like they just kind of rest on the laurels of, you play as action heroes and that's about it.
Yep.
And this one, it's a twin stick shooter, but doesn't rest on those laurels of just okay, it's gonna be a fun twin stick shooter. Like no, they actually give personality to all these characters. I'm gonna screw up the number. I'll say there's about 10 playable characters. They're all girls, which is I thought was kind of cool. There's no guys; they're all girl androids. They all have their different personalities. They all have completely different voice work. So when you're playing the game, besides the fact that like they'll say different things, like they'll say power ups differently. So the red power up is like extra firepower or something like that. And the one character I like to play as is a psychotic robot that never actually got finished. And whenever she picks it up, she goes, "Tiny robots," and then if you pick it up again, she's like, "Tiny robots, stay." But like other characters, like
Wow.
there's like more serious characters. That, like a commander, it's like bringing in backup, and that's what her thing is for that specific power up. And but every single character has a different like thing they say for that specific power up, and it's really weird, like how they get these kind of dumb little characters, really cool personalities. Unlike Broforce, which just
Um,
doesn't.
I'm pretty sure the bro in black was strikingly different from. I can't think of how they inserted bro into other action hero names off the
Yeah, that
top of my
game's so.
head.
Do you want to just review Broforce while we're talking about this? I guess tell you how much better Android Assault Cactus is than it.
No, you review your game. We can get to Broforce later. Look forward to it. It's great.
It's not great. It's not
It's
great.
not great. It's okay.
I think that's really cool about this game too. Is the bosses are really really well done. Each boss has very very different mechanics, and it's not something you really when you play twin stick shooters. I feel like there's sort of like a given. type of boss that you're gonna
Yeah,
you're gonna
for
fight
sure.
every single time, and they like to do that version 1, version 2, version 3. But there's spoiler how many bosses there are. There's 4 or 5 bosses, but each one like you have to take down completely different, and they have completely just like they really play with the mechanics of like what you can do in this game, and they take very very different thought processes. In the boss rush mode, we have to go against like all 4 or 5, like one after the other. It's really really hard switching like your mindset of how you're gonna take out each of these bosses. Oh man, the game is so good. I don't know what else there is to convince you. I mean, you like Geometry Wars, and you like I don't know
Yep.
if you played Super Stardust, but you're into twin stick shooters, aren't you?
To a point. There's a few that are like Geometry Wars sticks out. Although I played like Helldivers, and this is similar to Helldivers, right? Same idea.
Helldivers is far more strategic than this one is.
Okay, I
This
was
one
gonna
is
say Helldivers I did not like.
Helldivers is a did made the twin stick shooter like a little bit too smart for
Yeah, that
what
was
would
kind of
people
my
expect.
that was my feeling with that was like this is trying to get too intense for what it is. This is not my Geometry Wars game. This is like you took geometries and now you want me to think even harder.
Yeah, and this game doesn't take a lot of thinking. It just takes a lot of dodging. I would say there's not like a lot of there's a lot of pew pew pew. That's pretty much it. It's one of those games just like aim in the general direction of the enemy and then dodge everything you can. And I don't know, it's just really fun to play. It's just a game like I like the entire time I was playing I was having fun. Like when I played the first night, I think I beat it in about one sitting. It's not a really short game. I'd say it's like 3 or 4 hours long, but like I guess that is pretty short, but for these types of games it's
I mean,
not.
for this, yeah, I would say for like the smaller indie game, that's what you expect. That's what Broforce was. That's what I would a $15 indie game. I would expect 4 or 5 hours worth of time.
Yeah, so I mean like when I was done with it I was like, okay, that's a good place to end. It's not easy. It's not like you're just like kind of like shooting like willy nilly. Like you are sort of like you're running around, you're dodging, you're flipping, it plays a lot like not just a twin stick shooter, but it also plays like a shmup, like an arcade shoot 'em up game, which I know you're not a huge fan of. Um, but like it plays like bullet hells at some points, especially with some of the bosses. Like bullets just kind of go everywhere, and but when you do all the ducking and dodging, it's really satisfying. And it's actually pretty forgiving. You can take quite a few shots in this game, which is really nice. So I feel like a lot of these sort of games, like Geometry Wars especially, like if you get touched, you're dead. Like that's the end of the
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
You've died. This one actually is pretty forgiving. It's basically to get the higher rankings though, you just can't die, and that's kind of how it sets. It's basically it sets its own difficulty for you. Like when you first play the game, it's just getting through the level, and then like perfecting the level, and then getting better and better and better
Yep.
and better.
The leaderboard.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And game is just damn good. And we had talked about Peggle earlier, and Peggle was essentially just a peg shooting game where the characters didn't really have any characterization. But I was surprised how much character they gave these characters. And like there's actually like a slight kind of like hint of a story that there's some infighting between these characters because how they feel about humans. And god dang, this game is so good. I don't even know what else to talk about. It also looks great, sounds great, soundtrack is bumping. The game just I don't know a lot about music, so me talking about game soundtracks is not going to happen often on this podcast. If not,
But this one is quote unquote bumping.
bumping, and it feels appropriate. Like there's never a point where I'm like, this song doesn't make sense. It really fits. It's this sort of electronic music, and you're shooting up robots and stuff. It makes sense. Game is just drop dead gorgeous too. It runs at 60 frames per second, and when there's just a million bullets and characters, and they all animate really really beautifully, and you're just shooting, you're kind of like sweating bullets, and it's man, I don't know. I have nothing else to say about this game. It's a short twin stick arcade game, and if you like twin stick arcade games, this is definitely one of the best ones.
There you go. I don't know. I'm curious. I might pick it up. You're slowly convincing me with this.
Yeah, and it doesn't have any like sort of like with my Hitman review. I was like, yeah, but well, Hitman has this one thing with the internet connection.
There's none of that like backdoor like, but if you kind of are irritated by this.
Yeah, no. If you like twin stick shooters, this should be like a pickup for just about anybody. So that was our review for Android Assault Cactus.
It's Assault Android Cactus, but good try.
Is it Assault Android Cactus?
Yep.
Are you messing with me or no?
No, I still have it pulled up because I googled the name earlier. It is Assault Android Cactus.
So that was my review, which I promise I did play. It just got a weird name. That game actually has a weird name because the developer just wanted to be Googleable.
Oh, that works.
Yeah, Yeah, and there's there's no cacti in this game. There's a character named Cactus. Doesn't matter. She doesn't do anything cactusy. She doesn't
See,
look like a cactus.
I was gonna ask at some point how many cactuses were in this game because it looks very spaceshipy. So I was wondering
Yeah,
how that played in, but
it's like 99% Android Assault, and then like 1% Cactus. Think much more assaulting. You're actually an android, so you're assaulting other androids. The cactus part doesn't matter. It's a good game. Yeah, so go definitely go pick that up. If you like what you heard, we are Workforce Gaming. You can follow us on Twitter at Workforce Gaming. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube. We'd really love if you guys subscribe to us on YouTube. Always leave comments. We love reading those comments because a lot of this podcast was shaped by comments from our last one. So leave a comment. Also, you can follow us on iTunes. Yeah, give us a subscribe there. If you liked what you heard, you can always hear us next week.